Well, we're on our way back. I told you guys we get 4 at the most today, and we got the most. We got 4. I could have bought a number of other horses that were interesting, and I did bid on a number of other horses that were on our list, but they simply went for too much. I'll be frank, I'll be honest, I don't think the sale went for a lot more than I thought it would. They were a little high. I'm not surprised, but not to the extent I thought, right?
Sale topper is like 65.
Yeah, I think the Sealster one would be a little tighter, a little tougher to buy. It's online, so a little different look. So in regards to our buckets, how the buckets went, I think it works out very nicely today. So let me go through the 4 horses I bought. I will give you, as we get started, I'll tell you, we put the Pacing Filly in the $30,000 bucket. I'll explain why in a minute. We put the Peach Martini family. What's that filly's name? Lady All-Star.
Yeah.
Lady All-Star, she's going to go in the second bucket for 50. That gives both buckets a little room. We got Lexington, we got private sales, we have the Sealster sale. It's a good start for both buckets. Buying that $9,000 filly, I'm going to tell you why she was underpriced in just a minute. Why I think she was underpriced anyway. Buying that filly frees up 21,000 Canadian for us to get what I would think would be a pretty decent trotter for us. There's a lot of horses that fit under that level, under that scaffolding, so to speak, of 21,000. Lots of room there. Then you look at the $50,000 bucket. We bought one for 26 today, $24,000. Another good chunk of money to jam a horse in there. Now, I think you're going to end up with 2, 2, and 2. In fact, I know you will across the board because I've already closed the $70,000 bucket. And I'm going to talk about the 2 horses we put in there. Both have incredibly good backstories. Really, really cool. How we ended up with them, how we came about them, my take on both of them. So I'm going to start with the $30,000 bucket. Kelly has outlined the rules, by the way, for these buckets. I didn't want to muddy the waters, but I did want to make it fair for everybody. So we convened a meeting of the minds, so to speak, Saturday night into Sunday morning, just to make sure we got it right and what we wanted to do with those buckets. So the first purchase of the day, we waited all the way to number 62, and I bid on a lot of horses. I just wasn't going to be enticed into overpaying. As I said to Amy, when we got there, I was starving. It was 11 a.m. 11 a.m.? It was 11? I didn't eat till 11.
No, it was.
Yeah, no, we weren't done looking into. No, we weren't done looking.
You ate a burger.
I ate a cheeseburger at 11 o'clock. It was a breakfast burger.
It was 10.
It was a breakfast burger. It was 11 a.m. Anyway, the cheeseburger was delicious. It was delightful, but it was $10 for a cheeseburger. That's right. God loved them. So it was a $10 cheeseburger, and I told Amy, I'll buy all the $10 cheeseburgers, but I'm not buying any $25,000 or $30,000 wheeling and dealings. That's not going to happen. We were there to do our job. We had a list, a pretty short list to work from, and actually, the most expensive one we bought was not on our initial list, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. So we waited all the way to number 62. Wouldn't it be nice? Was not my top pick. Was not my top he's watching filly pick. I'll be quite frank with everybody. It was number 24. I love the filly. Louis Philippe Waugh ended up with the filly. I saw in the results later. I love that filly. This filly, I would say, was similar, but we did mark her down a little bit. I had her marked at 18,000. The other filly at 24. I got out at 24 on the other filly. She went for what, 33? So we weren't even the underbidders, but I was an active member all the way up to 24 on her. I had Wouldn't It Be Nice marked at 18. Nice filly, like the way she moved. She's built nice. Typical he's watching, kind of compact, not big. Put together well, straight, very correct. I figured 18. Nope. She went for 9,000. So I'm saying to myself, it's a good strike right there. We got a $9,000 filly that I had pegged at 18. Now, maybe I was a little aggressive with my markings, but I don't think so. I thought 18 would have been fine. I probably would have went to 18, especially since the one before that I wanted so bad went for 33. We got it for 9. So at this point, I'm not thinking buckets. Do your job, figure out the math after, get your work done. So we had looked at a number of horses. I'll be honest, there was 2 or 3 Art Speaks, and I know I couldn't buy them because I've cursed them for a year or 2. I couldn't bid on them. How am I going to sell an Art Speak to you when I told you how much I disliked them for the last 2 years? There was some gorgeous Art Speaks there today. Didn't bid on any of them. Would not. Shadow plays, I had to bite my tongue this year. I said I was not high on shadow play. How can't you be? They win everything in Canada. So I guess I have to just suck it up, shut my mouth, and bid on the best shadow play I think I can buy. Hope that it turns out. Maybe I just got a few that just rubbed me the wrong way. Who knows? But they're definitely winning everything in Canada. So regardless of my policy that I may have made on shadow play, I am going to have to do what politicians do and walk it back and say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Clearly, I was incorrect. Flexible. I'm going to buy shadow play. So we bid on a couple of shadow plays. I was the underbidder on the one Carl Jameson got for 50, I believe. Maybe I was the second underbidder. I'm not sure. I was right there at the finish line. And then we were the underbidders on the one that Ian Moore bought for 45. I think both those horses were worth what. The one that went for 50, it was the 10th foal. And all 9 foals weren't great. I was looking at the individual. The family was strong, second and third dam. First dam was not as strong as you like. And this isn't baseball. This wasn't 3 strikes you're out. This was 9 foals of okayness. But there was a lot of horses that were mediocrely bred in the top dam. So we cut him some slack, looked at him as an individual. He was gorgeous. He just went for too much. Now, in between the next shadow play and that shadow play was where we hit pay dirt, I think, at least for now, till he proves us wrong. Now, you guys that follow the Ontario scene will probably remember a horse named Warwick Yuri or Warwick Whisper that raced in a lot of the bigger races in Ontario this year. Now, Warwick Whisper, I believe, is a Trixton. Warwick Yuri was a Majestic Sun. What else do we got here? Majestic Sun. Warwick Yuri was a Majestic Sun. Warwick Whisper is a Trixton. Now, I would think Cadabra, I don't want to say he's better than Trixton. Trixton's on his way up, and we've had a lot of good Trixtons. But he's definitely, listen, Cadabra might have fallen out of favor, one, because he's deceased now. But moreover, he's older. He was an older sire, right? And they were hit and miss. Some of them got lame and had sore knees. This guy's a big boy. Big boy. And I'll be honest, I saw him before the sale. I saw him in the back ring. I said, Jesus, that's a good looking horse. He's going to bring a fortune, though. He was not on my original list, because when you pick up the catalog and you say, oh, here's Warwick Yuri's Brother by Cadabra. He's got a nice video. The second dam has Major Herbie. Third dam, Independent Woman. This is a strong family. As strong a Canadian blood as you're probably going to find around, for the most part. On the whole, at very worst, you're going to say this is above average pedigree for Ontario. Not to say there's anything wrong with Ontario, but just currently in Ontario right now, I would say this is above average pedigree. You can call me wrong. You can call me on that if you want. Feel free to look it up, mark it, run it by Norman Hall or whoever else she uses, a guru. I believe this is above average pedigree. Now you go to the Cadabra side. Yes, Cadabra has fallen out of favor. He's now deceased. There's not a lot of them. This is probably his last year, I guess it must be. I'm not sure when he passed away, but there might be one more year, but I doubt it. I think this is last year. There was only, 1 or 2 or 3 in the sale, maybe.
Not very many.
There's not many kicking around. But I will say this also, maybe a little, I doubt it's arguable. Cadabra is the best, at least Canadian trotting sire of all time to now. I would think Balanced Image was up there, but I don't think anybody is coming close to Cadabra. I don't believe. So to get a horse that he may have fallen out of favor, but when you breed a quality sire like Cadabra, and he still is a quality sire, to a quality family like this, you have to take note. When I looked at this page, I'm thinking $70,000. I'm not paying $70,000 for a Cadabra. I'm not paying $70,000 for Warwick Yuri's brother. I'm just not. I saw him in the back ring. My God, he was gorgeous. His video was okay. He looked a little clunky, but in person, he is beautiful. Lazy bugger. I think he's going to be a pain in the butt to get broke, and a pain in the butt.
He doesn't stand on cross ties.
Yeah, he's going to stand on cross ties because he's going to be on 2 in the stall tomorrow, and he'll be there till the afternoon if he wants to throw himself. So he's just a big, heavy goof, and it's going to take some time. We're going to have to be very careful with this horse if you don't hurt him, but I think it'll pay dividends. Much like 3 Point. Take your time, don't hurt him, and let him tell you when he's ready. Sound fair? I think as we, trailer him in the back of the trailer back to the farm as we just bought him and never put a harness on him, that's what I'm probably thinking he's like. From the people I talk to that take care of him, to what I saw today, and probably what I'm going to see when we put him in the jog cart, Warwick Yuri is, 1, a gorgeous specimen of an animal, and 2, a big Cadabra. You just got to take your time. So, to pick him up, I almost had him at 18. I thought it was the buy of the entire sale for sure. I was going to say Century, but that's a little silly. The buy of the entire sale for sure at 18. And then one of the Hill gentlemen was bidding and bidding and bidding. He kept going. He almost had him. He had me out at 41. He had me out at 43, and the guy had like, Jesus, he's a good look at him, how good looking he is. I got him for $48,000. I thought that price, I think, was more than fair. Probably below fair, to be honest. But at very worst, fair market for sure. So we ended up with Warwick Yuri. And then our next purchase came in the form of my number one pick of the wholesale. Now, I didn't drop my pants when I did my videos. I quietly did my videos, told you what I liked and didn't like. And Warwick Yuri was not in the videos because, again, well, one, he wasn't at Winback when I visited Winback, right? Because he's a Warwick horse. He was at Warwick Farms. But two, when I picked up the catalog, it never dawned on me that we'd be able to buy Warwick Rue's Brother by Cadabra. It just never dawned on me. So next was my number one pick of the wholesale. The horse, Amy loved her, and I loved her. She's a my MVP filly. Her name was Lady All-Star. She is absolutely stunning. Beautiful filly. A little bit of a story there. Blake McIntosh and I were bidding against each other, and I know Blake. And I think deep down I wanted her, deep down Blake wanted her. And as we're conversing about which one of us was going to get her, they dropped the hammer on my bid. I think it kind of maybe pissed Blake off a little bit. It was not my doing. I didn't have anything to do with it. I thought I had the $26,000 bid. He thought he had the $26,000 bid. Turns out one of us was right, one of us was wrong, and I was right. So I ended up with the filly for 26. No big deal. She might be a dud anyway, so who knows? It's one of those moments. I think if she comes back and is a really good filly next year, it might be a little salt in the wounds maybe in the summer to Blake, but you never know. I mean, she may end up being an afterthought. Who knows? But definitely my number one pick of the entire sale. She went into the $50,000 bucket, 26 grand. Lots of room to maneuver in there. So now, as it stands at this point in the sale, we have the beautiful little He's Watching filly that I thought was, according to me, 50% off. She's at $9,000 in the $30,000 bucket. Lady All-Star is in the $50,000 bucket at 26, and then Warwick Yuri is in the $70,000 bucket at 48. Makes total sense to me. I'm looking through the sale catalog. Mario's talking to me about the horses he likes, the horses I like. There wasn't a ton left. There was some that we could have watched, but I'm thinking, I still got Seoster Farm sale. I still got Lexington, Harrisburg. There's no rush. Let's do this right. Let's make sure we get the right horses in the right bucket. And then Mario tells me about a horse that we looked at together when we were at Winback. I liked him, he liked him. We kind of were a little, when we looked at the catalog, and then when he saw him yesterday, we were kind of on the fence a bit. I had taken him out and looked at him when I first got there at Aaronwood. Beautiful colt. He was a shadow play. I get shut out in both the shadow plays I didn't get. I know quietly a lot of our clients did want shadow play. And I'd been shut out all day. Now, Gandalf the Black, number 96. Beautiful black colt, but he's a ridgeling. There's a strike against him. Here's the problem with the ridgeling. So a ridgeling is one of the testicles is up inside, right? The only way to fix that, for the most part, is to operate. It's simple. They go in, cut them open. It's like castration. They geld them when they're there, but it's a little extra money. It's not the end of the world. It's like $2,000, maybe $1,800. You go in, snip, snip, away you go. They got the horse done. You're talking about the reduction of in price of a fairly, what could have been a fairly expensive horse, simply because he's an ridgeling. I'll have that fixed Thursday morning if they'll open up the room for me at University of Guelph, which I hope they do. So potentially this could be a non-issue after Thursday morning. Great. Now Gandalf, the front mare, is 0 for 3. A better than Cheddar, a shadow play, and another shadow play. Now pay very, very close attention because people miss this. If you look closely, all three of his siblings that were all duds are all fillies. Now, I once had somebody tell me it doesn't matter, it's not as big a deal as you let on. That's foolishness. You know, we had two sisters. Unfortunately, we drowned them when they were young. Now we only were left with brothers. It's not true, we didn't drown our sisters. But, you know, sisters and brothers are not the same. You know that. You out there have sisters, have brothers. They're not the same. Now, for those of you who think that I'm full of it, a little horse called Swandre the Giant we bought 4 years ago. had two sisters. Both of them were absolute duds. They were by Donato Hanover. They were horrible. They had no talent whatsoever, according to the chart lines anyway. Yet Swandre the Giant was a world champion. I don't. Was he a world champion?
I'm not sure.
He's definitely a stakes champion. He ended up with $700,000, and he was a good horse, a very good horse. So, along the same lines, fillies and mares absolutely make a huge difference. Same thing if you have 3 or 4 colts in the family and they throw the first filly, might be worth a second look. So you got a colt that's a Ridgeling, right? You have a Ridgeling, male Ridgeling, beautiful black colt with a big white blaze down his face. You need a big white blaze, right? You should have started.
He's got quite a bit.
Quite a bit of white, and on his legs too. So beautiful looking colt. He's a Ridgeling. We can fix that like that. Not a problem whatsoever. Natalie Cote, I hope, at University of Guelph will fix that on Thursday. And he's 0 for 3 on the front dam. Second dam has 18 in it. Just give you a look. 18 made what, $900,000? 18 was a very good horse. So, Gandalf the Black, first dam is a Camluck mare herself.
That's where the white comes from.
That's where the white comes from, that's right. Second dam, Dream of Mimi, this is the second dam, made $470,000. Good mare in her own right. She threw 18, Dream of Luck and Dream of Mimi's in the third dam. There's nothing but speed and money in this entire family. So we got a shadow play, the leading sire in Ontario. Beautifully well put together colt, but he is a Ridgeling. He's 0 for 3 in the front dam. You can fix a Ridgeling on Thursday, and he's a colt, right? They're all fillies. So a great backstory to both Warwick Yuri and Gandalf the Black. They're both going to join the top bucket. Now, I come in under budget. You don't hear that very often, but I did. Well, I guess from us we tried to, but we had a budget of $70,000 for the top bucket. When you add Warwick Yuri, $48,000, with Gandalf the Black, $17,000, you get a total of, for those of you who don't have a calculator, I'll tell you, $65,000. We come in $5,000 under budget for the $70,000 bucket. We're going to lock it down the way it is. I think we did a great job at the sale with those horses. In the $50,000 bucket, we're going to put Lady All-Star. That is the Peach Martini family. I love this filly. She is beautiful. And in the bottom bucket, we're going to put that beautiful little pacing filly. What was her name? Number 62. Her name is Wouldn't It Be Nice? She's a beautiful little filly. That gives us lots of room to maneuver. Now, as one bucket is shut down and full up, the other 2 buckets are not. We will use those buckets for either Sealster Farms or private purchases or an online auction of some sort. Well, I guess Sealster is online, and or Lexington. Looks like we have enough room for about a 20. What? Oh yeah. It looks like we have enough room for about a $20,000 trotter for the bottom bucket. I'm thinking trotter. And then we have enough room for about a $24,000, again, hopefully trotter, for the second bucket. And the $70,000 bucket is full up. So that was a sale today. Had a lot of fun. I think we did some great work again. We ended up filling up some very important partnership buckets with some very talented, what I hope are talented horses. But I think it was a great day had by all. For those of you sitting in the $30,000 or $50,000 buckets, rest assured, we will do the same. We're going to take our time. We're going to do what's right. We're going to pick the right horses for those buckets. So until next time, until later, until next week, I will talk to all of you very, very soon.